You're watching BCTV's Open Studio, where we bring in interesting people from the community to talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. My name is Johnny Gifford. I'm the Executive Director for BCTV. Today I'm joined by Luis Negron, who is the new Theatre Manager over at the Latchis Theatre. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So when did you join the Latchis as its Theatre Manager?
Last May, actually.
May 2025. So you've been in the role 7-ish months.
7 months, something like that. Yes, and sometimes it feels longer. Sometimes it feels like I just came in yesterday.
I'm sure it's been flying by, but you've taken in like so much information all at the same time.
Oh yes, and I feel like I still have tons and to learn, which is it's fun. I mean, I'm loving the invitation and the challenge because it's both.
And the community is grateful to have you here for sure. I'm excited to hear about sort of what that work has looked like for you. But before we really dive into that, I'm curious, like, where are you coming from before coming to Brattleboro?
Well, I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born and raised there. And I have done many things. I'm known as a writer back home. I have to say that I was... I am a writer who has the benefits of being in the favor of the public. So that's something that I really treasure and love. My relationship with my readers, mostly in Puerto Rico and in Latin America. Although my work has been translated into the English language, And it did well. It won the Lambda Literary Award for Best Gay Fiction for 2013, and so I'm also a playwright, and my work has been staged in places like Havana and New York in Latinos theater, and so. I can say that I have been a playwright, a writer, a bookseller, a film programmer. I have worked also for the Museum of Contemporary Art in Puerto Rico, and they have a program called Cinemac, and I was their programmer for many years, and I also work for the Puerto Rico Queer Film Fest, and I have done book fairs. I have produced theater. I have to say that whatever the moment has to offer, and I see myself doing it, and I see myself contributing, and so I think it's something that is tempting, and so I have done many things, mostly related to the arts and literature, theater, and cinema. Yeah,
I see like a through line of like arts and storytelling, really centered around that, and then whatever medium you choose is sort of just an additional part of it, whether there's literature or film or what have you. But you mentioned to me earlier as well that you have some experience with journalism as well, and talk about why that might be important to your passion as like a writer.
Well, it's journalism. I studied journalism and I loved the workshops. I mean, I learned everything about writing that I needed to learn. I learned it there with my professors who were amazing and very strict and no mercy. And like I say, you study journalism and it keeps you humble in the way that in your relationship with your writing. But I was never going to be a good journalist because I love to imagine and it's like for me a story. It's not just a story. It's let's recreate it. Let's give it sound. Let's give it lights. Let's put it into words so somehow at the Latchis. Even though I'm just, I'm the manager and the film programmer for the Latchis, I feel like a storyteller too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that way. And as time goes by, we're doing stuff at the theater. Like for example, we did the Tin Men, We did
for Wizard of Oz, right?
For Wizard
you did a Wizard of Oz
yeah.
screening. You dressed up as the Tin Man.
We put the yellow brick road so people could
Yeah.
walk into it, and we're showing movies from the past so people can reimagine how the Latchis was, and so I'm sorry I'm jumping, but it's but that's something that I want to accomplish at the Latchis. Like when you walk in, you are having an experience and not just coming to watch a movie, but to watch a movie in community, to watch a movie in a bigger screen, and with a whole new experience. And also, I want you to feel welcome.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I see a through line there between what we were just talking about and now what we have pivoted to, because with journalism, you're limited to the story you can tell based on what the events that happened were. That is exactly the story you're going to tell in a journalistic setting. Similar to being a theater manager or a programmer, you could just pick films to show the films, and then let people come and see the films if they so desire. But no, you're making it like a whole experience for people to not only watch the film, but sort of immerse themselves in it a little bit, to really put themselves in that environment with those characters in that story. And I'm sure that's especially great for kids. I'm sure kids absolutely love that.
Yes, they love it.
I remember seeing pictures of kids just interacting with you as the Tin Man, and I'm sure that they got a really kick out of it. And you're going to be doing that for Santa Claus and Elf and all, just everything. And there's always an occasion to put yourself in that setting. And I think your acting background probably has contributed a lot to that as well, right? Or have you acted?
No.
You just mentioned that you were a playwright.
A playwright and producer.
Gotcha.
But I'm a shy actor, I have to say. We of course we all want to be an actor somehow, but I will die first. But that's another subject. But the thing is, when it comes to dressing up as a character and although I have never been an actor, I know the wonder that something like that can cause for a kid, and you go to a theater and you see this character, and you see the yellow brick road, and so I always think about being a kid, and so. It's not difficult for me to just and although of course I'm like I say I get these ideas and I want to do it. I'm the only one that is willing to do it. So
yeah, that's the benefits and the drawbacks of having a lot of power in a small town.
I give you the idea, I develop it, and I act it. So
yeah, you do it all. You're a one-man show.
Yep, that's exactly what my job is. Although I have to say that I have, we at the Latchis have the most wonderful staff. And if I'm lucky in something, I have to say that of getting this job, and it's like having and this wonderful staff that is people from the community, that they work there, and they have made everything so much easier for me, and it's also very moving to see the way they love the Latchis. So I want to say, take a moment to mention that we already have the most wonderful staff, and they love what we're doing now, and they get involved, and so, yep, we're trying to bring some magic. I don't know if that's something magic, because we're in the show business.
Exactly.
Even when people come and to see the movie, and I say welcome, and I say enjoy the show. I rarely say enjoy the movie. I say enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. It's a show.
It is.
Right here in town and affordable.
Yeah, I love that you're trying to channel that magic into the Latchis, because it has been such an institution of our community for so many years. And we're lucky that right now, the way it's organized, there's it's a nonprofit, but it's also a corporation and all that. And it allows, this it allows staff to staff it, to do their job, not just to sell popcorn and get butts into seats, but also to make it an experience and to make it really arts forward, arts focused, and then more can happen in that space.
Oh, yes.
Besides just films as well, because of the way that's all structured, and again, that staff being who they are, into the work and as supportive as they are, I'm sure has been really helpful for you sort of coming on board and getting used to this role. And I want to hear sort of how that has been going for you and the story there of like, you maybe see a job posting, you move to Brattleboro, you get the job, and then, how does that all panning out right now? I'm sure, like, what is that like? It must be a flurry of information and learning and everything, but just give some insight to what that whole experience has been like for you so far.
Well, I used to live in Paradise, meaning Puerto Rico. I'm kidding. It's just good weather. That's it. I'm kidding. I love Puerto Rico, of course. And I was there. I had a bookstore, but it was not. The economy it was not doing great, and I was full of stress. I have to say, there was a point that I was like, oh, okay, maybe maybe we don't need this bookstore right now, and so I came to visit my daughter, my daughter Adriana and her husband and 4 kids.
Who, your daughter? She's been on the show before.
Yes.
I've had her on here. Yeah, yeah.
And they came to Brattleboro, and I remember when I first came to visit, I had a hard time going back to Puerto Rico. I have to say, I had a hard time going back home, and I don't want to be unfair to the island, but it was like in Brattleboro, I felt so welcome, and people here are so nice. And I mean it people here are kind. People here care. When they see something and someone that is in need, they don't stay. They don't look away. I mean, most of them, they don't look away. And I don't know if people from Brattleboro knows how special they are, but they are. And I mean, it's like if I can name the bad things of the world without no hesitation, why not name the ones that are great? And I have to say that and everywhere you went, people will say hi, and they will ask me for my accent. And whoa, I love your accent. That's the first time that it happens.
Boy. I'm sure it's endearing and then maybe annoying sometimes, depending on the day.
Sometimes it even annoys me. Like sometimes when I'm really, really tired, it's like I'm like, no,
come on.
Yes, it's like whatever. It just but it's there, and that's part of who I am, and that's
totally.
and like I always say, the Latchis probably they had an accent because the family, because they were from Greece, the first, especially the first generation. So and the Latchis is also the story of immigrants, and so I think it makes sense that I'm there at this moment in my life, but like I say, I came to Brattleboro. No, I came to visit, and then I decided to move here like a year and a half ago. And when I saw the job posting, it was like, wow. It was very, very. I was very happy when I saw it because I felt like it was something that I could do. And I said, well, wow, if I get the chance, I'm going to give back to this community. And this is not only a chance to work, to make a living, but also to do something for a community that I like and that I love. And like I said, this is not my country. This is, that I was not born here, but this is my community right now. And I belong to this community. So this is also a moment to bring all those years like about doing everything, being broke and having all those issues or problems back home. But it's like it's worth it because now I feel like I'm in the right place to take care of this beautiful and meaningful and important theater.
Yeah, you have the opportunity to use your experience as a writer and as someone who imagines a lot. Mm-hmm. You have that opportunity to use those skills to bring joy to people's lives.
Yep.
In a really historic institution, which is really special.
Yeah.
So tell me about like what it's been like. You got the job, and then what are you learning from there on out? I'm sure you've been taking in a lot of information and learning how to manage a theater as you go. And what are some of the things that you've learned over the course of the last 7 months?
Well, most things are just being a manager and day by day things that you have to do, paperwork and scheduling and supervising employees and but now, for example, I'm booking movie, making sure that we have a movie to show every Friday.
So you're choosing like every single time there's a new movie at the Latchis, you're basically selecting that and making sure it gets on the screen.
Exactly. So that's my responsibility. If there's no movies on the Friday, that means that it was my fault. And so at the beginning, I was like, because there's a lot of responsibility and it is welcome. That's responsibility, but it was also a challenge at the beginning, especially making sure that the movie shows, for example, working with the projectors, with the whole technology, that is sound. Sometimes technology is supposed to be here to make things easier, but not all the time.
Yeah.
And they can be a challenge. The way we project movies nowadays, and it's so much details that I had to learn, and I still feel like that I'm learning that. So, but it's just technology, and although for certain days it feels like I would never learn all that I have to learn, but sometimes I feel like you don't need to, and just take it easy and day by day.
And you also have to have like people you work with that you can trust as well that can help you with some of those gaps, because you shouldn't be expected to know absolutely every single detail.
No, and if it was for me, I would have someone next to me all the time.
Right.
But it's impossible. I mean, we do have a great staff that is very well versed in technology. But if you ask me, what's my biggest challenge? That one is the one and the only one that I will call a challenge.
The technology, digital projection.
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to project a movie,
sure.
and you should be there to see my face of joy, the day that I made it work, the projector. Because it's a lot. So, but here I am, and still, like I say, still learning. But it's a very welcome challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you've gotten an insight as to sort of how the movie, or at least the film industry, works from the consumer endpoint of theatrical viewing experiences. You've gotten to know what that industry is like. Obviously, it's changing a lot with the introduction of streaming and just the culture of movie theaters changing in general. I'm sure that really impacts how you are. Or how you are intending to carry out your role as theater manager. So what are some things that maybe you're seeing in the theater industry in general, and where does the Latchis stand on all that right now? Where do you think it's going to go?
The Latchis, we're a movie theater, but we also are a venue that is also very. The community always come to us to celebrate their Christmas pageant, to stage their ballet. To show their to be the showcase for their ideas, and so it is growing. But when it comes to movies, strictly to movies, there's a challenge to bring back audiences after COVID, and the numbers are still and down, and some people say it's going to go back, some people say it's not going to go back.
Yeah.
One of the biggest challenges is, like, for example, now you show a movie, and in a month the movie is going to be streaming, or sometimes even at the same day. So how do you coexist with that reality? And and I think what I see is like, what is happening is like new movies. For example, if you have a blockbuster or a new movie opening Friday, it was going to be really, you could survive on having every Friday like a new movie, that is going to draw people coming into the theater. But nowadays we see that it needs to be a combination of many things. Like I say, the community comes to us, we become their stage for their imagination, but we also are learning that people like movies. They don't have to be new. And for example, we show Dracula. It's a 1931 movie, and we show it on the Halloween night, I think it was, and people came.
Yeah.
And they loved it.
Because again, you're curating this like cultural experience
Yes.
of enjoying the evening as intended.
And we have, that we have so many ideas. We brought the Wizard of Oz, we brought the Sound of Music, and we, for example, for St. Valentine's, we want to have someone playing the piano on the stage, because we want to bring Casablanca, and Finger Cross, and on World AIDS Day, we show a movie called Longtime Companion, and opening the space for the community to remember and to celebrate, and I don't know. For example, when Robert De Niro died, we show All the President's Men. So there's so many things that we can do, that movies can provide. And it's just a matter of, for us finding the time, but I want to say, I have John Porter. He's not only my boss, he's my creative also.
I'm sure he's a great sounding board to go back and forth with about a lot of these ideas.
I love it, because I come with these ideas, and I'm like, John, but he's so good at grounding them, and we do it to each other, and he's very good to taking your idea and pointing in the direction that it makes more sense, for example. So it's a very good creative partner when it comes to choosing and events and all that. And so, and like I was saying, also the Latchis is, we do show movies, but for example, this weekend, last weekend we had the Nutcracker, and we probably during the weekend we received over 1,000 people.
Wow, and that was a live production, I imagine, right?
It was a live production.
Yeah, over 1,000 people for how many shows?
4 shows.
Wow.
So one night we have. One evening, we have 500 people at the Latchis.
Yeah, that must be mostly all sold out shows or close to capacity.
For example, last Tuesday, we had the Christmas pageant for St. Joseph.
Okay.
What St. Joseph is the name of the school? The Catholic St. Michael's.
St. Michael's, yeah.
St. Michael's.
Okay.
And so we have 500 people there on a Tuesday. So, like I say, the Latchis, it's becoming more than a place to come and see, the newest movies, which we're always going to do. But it's coexisting with other needs, or where, like I say again, most of these shows, the community come knocking to our doors and say, well, we see this happening at the Latchis, and of course, our job is to say, to help them imagine and make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. It almost seems like a return to form in some ways too, because before there were movies, there were stage shows,
Yep.
people performing on a stage and a whole audience there to see it. And we're lucky that the Latchis not only has, multiple movie screens, but also a beautiful stage.
Yes.
And we can return to that form, which is still such a incredible and powerful way to showcase art and to tell stories. So it's cool that you're, it seems like the future to me is mingling the newer and the older traditions. And are there any other sort of initiatives or directions that you're like excited to maybe explore through your role at the Latchis?
Well, right now we're also concentrating on the theater, taking care of the building, and making sure that that experience is completely. We know, and we count on people understanding that this is a very old theater, so that sometimes, we don't have the latest seats, that they shake whatever, or they give you a massage. We don't have that. We have other things. We have another experience, like you say, a very old theater, and so that's something that is part of my priorities. The building itself, and polishing all that, and it does take time, because it's. When you want to do things in the right way, it's going to take time, and so I don't want to come here and make all the changes from without any support or any of that. So and also have to listen to what the community wants, because
Exactly.
I can have all this idea, but that's not my job.
Yeah.
My job is it's just it's a give and take, and so. Yeah, I mean, I see the Latchis, like, again, showing. I want. We always want the Latchis for the place where my grandchildren can see the movie that they want.
Yeah.
And if they want to see SpongeBob, they're gonna get SpongeBob. If they want to see Zootopia or Avatar, we are that community movie theater where you come to enjoy whatever, the best of Hollywood. But also we have space to show the best of independent cinema. We don't shy away from always bringing a movie that challenge the traditional storytellings, or brings you more into the table than just entertainment. And so we are very careful and very enthusiastic about that movie that we usually try to have on schedule. And also we will always want to make sure that we have family movies all the time. And we are flirting with other, for example, we're bringing more movies for Gen Z, and for the today's teenagers and younger people. So and it's working, and so it's not only bringing numbers of people, amount of people. It's their demography, their age, and that also is something that you love. When you see a lot of young people, and young people are not supposed to come to the movies, but when you see them, that they do every Saturday, and they know the movies that they like, and so they come in group, and so that's something that is part of our challenge to make sure that we have always the newest, the younger members of this community, continuing with the support that has been here since 1938.
Definitely. I mean, that's how you're going to sustain this organization for many years to come, and to imprint a very important recognition in young people's minds of how important this community space is. That's, you got to be serving all people. Luis, thank you so much for chatting with me today, and
thank you.
Talking about your exciting new role as the theater manager at the Latchis Theatre. I say new role. I mean, it feels like, you've been there for 7 months, but there's still so many exciting things for you to do, and for us to share together in the community.
Yeah.
So again, just thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you. Looking forward to hear from anyone. So you can stop me and say, yeah, you're going to show this movie, and I will let you know
Yeah.
exclusive information.
There you go. Yeah,
Thank you.
It's good to have friends in high places. So it sounds like anyone who's watching can bother Luis about whatever movies they want to see to come to the Latchis.
Exactly.
Thank you for watching another
Thank you.
episode of BCTV's Open Studio. I'm Johnny Gifford. I was joined here by Luis Negron, who's the newer theater manager at the Latchis Theatre. Thanks for tuning in, and take care.